Alright, so I'm posting this video entirely because I've had a few questions about this design um, on the server I play on, and so I figured, okay, I will publish a build video since I plan on building a new copy of this design elsewhere anyway. But FYI, this is a redstone lectern shop. So basically what you do is you just right click, you select like what page you want or what item you want. I know the pages just have numbers. You would actually write what items there are. I will show you the versions I have on the LTT server, which do actually have proper data in the books, but um, and it just selects which barrel you want to take items out of, and then once payment is input, it will dispense a amount of items that you have requested. Um, if you're like me, you will just take the world download and not watch this video, which is fine. So a few things to keep in mind. One, you need the item sorter to be configured like this, like almost every other item sorter, but you definitely need to have whatever your payment is um, in this slot. I should also mention this design is a 1 to n design, so one payment equals X amount of the item to be output. This version of the design, with this being a barrel, works fine. However, if your server is using something like Grief Protect, you will need to replace this with a hopper very quickly. I want the barrel too, but you'll need to replace it with a hopper like that so that people cannot break the shop, because it's annoying because it means if they put in too much payment for what you have left in stock, so not one diamond at a time, it will actually break the machine. Or, well, it won't break the machine. It will break the machine if you had it like this, where they were throwing items directly into the item filter. Because the shop design actually uses the item filter to count how many diamonds have been put in the system. However, the problem is that if they put in more than one diamond directly into the item filter, it will just get stuck and will keep looping and just dispensing items. So you need at least one hopper on top of that. The problem with this here is it means if they throw in too many diamonds, the system will just get the diamonds stuck in here and won't actually dispense the items. The second problem is it means somebody could theoretically throw in a bunch of junk items, say, I don't have enough junk in my inventory, hang on. My inventory, oh right. Huh. So they could just throw in like a bunch of junk items. Oh. Maybe not cobblestone. Cobblestone was a stupid idea. Bedrock. Ignore that it is attempting to dispense right now. That is not what it's supposed to be doing. But they could throw in a bunch of junk items that'll get all filled up in here, and then even if you throw in a payment, it won't take it because it's full of junk. I have not found a way to solve this yet. The barrel would have worked fine, but with Grief Protect, I got a little bit off topic, I'm sorry. With Grief Protect, what'll happen is the user can break the barrel using, how to explain? With Grief Protect, what you have to do is you would have to create a claim around the barrel that is top-down 2D, because that's how Grief Protect works. Which means the barrel would be accessible, but so would the item filter. Now, the item filter is underneath the barrel, and they can't click on it. However, players with a lot of lag, if they have a very high ping, can break the barrel and then right-click on this hopper here before the barrel reappears on their client. So you need to have it like this, that way you can not have the item filter be publicly accessible. Again, though, sadly, this comes with all the previously mentioned caveats. Anyway, as I was saying, if you were like me, you will need the item filter that way. You will need... That's annoying that it's still running. There we go. So this is how many... This number of items is how many items the system will dispense when payment is entered times 2. So I have 2 stacks in here. which means the system will dispense 4 stacks of items. And all 15 items have to have the same price because it will do the same for all of them. It is theoretically possible to stack this module like a second version of it, but I have not actually I have not tested whether that's possible, because for my use case, having every single item in the shop worth the same amount is fine. Because of how I'm using this shop, and I use a different design for single item transactions that are worth different amounts, so But it's this value times 2, and the minimum value I have ever tested it with is about 16 items in this hopper, so that's 32 items at the output. I have never tested it with anything lower than that. I have doubts that it would actually work correctly, but at the same time, I tested that on one of the previous versions of this design. I believe it was this version. Actually, this is not the Lectern shop. This version, which is a lot bigger and a lot more complicated because it was the original version, as it says there. So there's that. I think that is it. Oh, wait, actually there is one more thing. Something else to watch out for is whatever item you have in these barrels, one item will get stuck in this hopper. It is a problem due to how the system actually locks the item output, and I do not know of a way to fix it. In previous versions, I had just made sure to make it such that this was not possible. But due to how this works, this is how it ends up, is the right way to put it. And there isn't a good way to fix it due to space constraints. So whatever item is in this barrel, you just need to put an item in this hopper, which will then, from there on, actually dispense the correct number of items. So you can either put an item in this hopper or just run every single item through once, and it will get an item stuck in that hopper for you, and then you just need to put everything back together, and it will dispense the correct number of items from there on out, as though that item isn't there. That is just a flaw of the design. Anyway, now on to actually building it on the LTT server, where I will show you building it. Anyway, so now that I'm on the server, I will show this. Now, one thing you can do, just as a quick aside, is you can add a page to the beginning of the book that is not one of these selection pages, and it will just act as, what's the right word? It'll basically just count as far as the game is concerned and the redstone is concerned as the first selection on the list, and every other one will actually select properly. But this is how I've set mine up. Now you may notice this is only 14 items, and the system can handle 15 items. There you go. I just have it scroll at the very end. And I will go check to make sure. The server is a little bit finicky sometimes, so flipping pages quickly can break it. I haven't had that happen in a long time, but it makes me nervous. But yes, this is out of stock. This should not be out of stock. It is not out of stock. Yeah, this is a problem I have not been able to solve as of yet, nor do I know what causes it. My suspicion is people flipping the pages too fast causes one of the pistons to get, like, stuck in the wrong position, for lack of a better word, but that's just how I format the books, and also the hoppers are the way I described because of people throwing in too many items at once. So for this building, I will be using, actually I need to go get some redstone stuff. This will not take too terribly long because I keep a box of it in here, but but for this I will be using Litematica just to make it easier. So rendering on, and then I need to create a new, I need to load a new Litematic for Lectern shop version 4.2 load schematic. There we go. I should also mention that the player Xanderstuff, who is not currently online, actually helped me develop this version of it. This is rotated the wrong way. rotation 180. You can... I'm not going to put these right next to each other. If you wanted to put them right next to each other, it would probably work, but you would need to replace these stone bricks, which came into contact with these slime blocks, with terracotta. That way it didn't break the adjacent machine. Same goes for... I didn't put it right up against the wall because this would have had to be like obsidian or terracotta or something like that to prevent it breaking the thing. Now, what I will do is I will... Actually, I didn't need to do that. Actually, no, I didn't need to do that. I need to do this. Single layer set here. There we go. And this just makes... Oh. Oh, dear. No, that's not good. I believe that is back to where it was. Yes, it is. Okay. Let's take the stick out of my hand. That way when I am attempting to do things, I don't end up moving stuff. And the green concrete is being replaced with stone bricks because I have a lot of stone bricks. But that doesn't matter. As long as a full solid block, it doesn't matter what it is. So... But yes, I recommend just skipping this part of the video, to be honest with you. I just recommend taking the world download I plan on putting up. But hey, let's see, I need a piston, and I need a sticky piston. Let's just take all the pistons. Alright, so I need a sticky piston. I know my elytra are almost broken. I was doing some exploring on the server yesterday, and I used up my elytra. Now page up, and then we get the next layer. And that's pretty much how this works. I will not post a Lightmatica, because not everybody uses Lightmatica, but I will post a world download from which you can create your own Lightmatic. Your own your own Lightmatica schematic. Or if you use Schematica, you can use Schematica. It really doesn't matter. I'm just babbling to babble because this is not very interesting and will just be a lot of brute force work. Oh yes, I need glass. I keep glass in here because this requires glass. Now, the glass here is actually required such that the redstone doesn't conduct into the block. Dang it, I just got... This is a distraction. Why did somebody ping me? Alright, okay. The interruptions should now be over. It was like a 40-minute distraction of monumental proportions. Anyway, so the glass is required. Actually, I'm not sure if it's required here or not. I think it's not required here anymore, but it's here in the blueprint, so whatever. But anytime I use glass, you definitely need to use glass or tinted glass of some sort, because glass is not capable of transmitting a redstone signal, whereas solid blocks are. So in these cases, usually I have a good reason. But anyway. I need building materials. There we go. But yeah. And this is Lightmatica, which I'm using, so... if you want the mod, you just search up Lightmatica in CurseForge under Fabric Mods. If you're using like actually like Forge the mod loader, you will need to use Schematica, which to my understanding is actually a slightly better mod than Lightmatica, but it is not compatible with Fabric, so that's why I'm not using it. To my understanding, the file formats between the two are entirely compatible. I need a redstone torch. Dang it, I should just take everything out of this box. Then here. Then here. Then these two. I don't have any repeaters. I am almost out of comparators. I probably do not have enough comparators to build this thing. There is going to be another cut while I go get more comparators later. We're going to keep going right now because I will do that whenever I actually run out of comparators. Let's see. Hang on. What would be H? There we go. Delay 4, and it's not powered, but that's fine. It's not powered, but it is in compare mode. That's fine. Repeaters. I have plenty of repeaters, but I'm almost out of comparators because I used up all my comparators. And by the way, all the orange is where it differs from the schematic. But it is the correct block, and red, like you see on these stone bricks, is where the schematic... sorry. Is all the red is where the schematic is... Oh man, what was I gonna say? All of the red is where the block is incorrect. But again, these blocks are just the green concrete, which is fine. Because all it needs to be is some solid block. It doesn't matter what solid block it is. Oh, good. Leave, please. Don't cause interruptions. Okay, look, just despawn. I don't want you. Let's see, hoppers. I need something that's not hopper. Now, using Litematica, I don't necessarily need to do it that way, but I don't do it that way because that was a pain. Getting Litematica to actually do it so when you place a block it's in the right rotation is easy. I should also mention this design is immune to, if you're building this on a server, if your server has clear lag, this is immune to clear lag entirely. That was kind of one of the design points. It uses all hoppers and such. So it is entirely immune to clear lag. It doesn't suffer from that issue. Yes, composters. The composters are not really necessary. I mean, you could do without them. These are not really required. They just make the machine slightly, and I do mean slightly more lag friendly. So anywhere you see a composter, it is anywhere you see a composter, right? Hang on. Yeah, so this design doesn't use composters, so yeah. So anywhere you see a composter in this version of the design, it's not necessary. It is just to make the design slightly more lag friendly by removing some of the hopper. It makes hoppers ignore certain steps of their processing. We will do all that later. We will do everything that goes here later because, quite frankly, man, we might as well do it now. I don't really want to not do it now and then forget. Apologies about that. I will mute that down in editing so it's not as loud for you as it is for me, but that's because people at the moment are being annoying and killing the Ender Dragon in the end right now. And apparently that sound is a global sound that you hear literally everywhere. Why does it have to be now, right when I am doing this? I don't know. I seem to have the worst luck imaginable, because... ugh. These signs get to live here on this wall, because I can't be bothered right now. I need barrels. I don't have any barrels in there. Do I have barrels in storage? Please tell me I have some barrels in here. I have a barrel. Oh, good. That's not enough. I'm going to have to make some barrels. I am prepared. You know, the utmost of, you know, YouTube excellence and such. You know, it's not like I'm going to have to go make some more comparators or anything. It's totally not like I just logged in without even checking. I didn't even know I was in my shop, to be honest, when I logged in. But I was, which is nice. I thought I was somewhere else on the server at the time. When I logged out, I was not. Apparently I was actually planning on doing this. A little bit earlier than I thought I was. So I haven't actually been on the server all that much for a while, because not only have I been busy, but I've just not been in the mood. So, anyway. Let's see. Oh, I missed a repeater. It's already in my hotbar. What is wrong with this one? I have no idea. My guess... So, some of these redstone bits that are orange, it's partially because you can't see the entire schematic right now. Yeah, so for example, this was orange because it needed to connect to this, but this wasn't here yet. Now it is, so if I turned it back, it's correct now, so it's not turning orange anymore. Ignore that item entity, that's from the schematic. It's a mistake. It's not supposed to be there. Item filter. Comparator. The problem is this design does require quite a few comparators, and I do not have enough comparators because I just finished building a sorting system and haven't had the opportunity to get more. As I was saying, sorry, I have not had the opportunity to refill my redstone supplies. That shouldn't even happen. Like, they actually don't even spawn in a taiga biome. There we go. Let's remove this because it's not supposed to be there. I love jump boost. And I ran out of stone bricks, but I have lots more. So just an FYI, has nothing to do with the redstone itself, but I'm just going to say this. I'm building the shop so I can sell concrete. Somebody else on the server already sells concrete, they sell it for the same price I was planning on selling it, but I was already getting into the business anyway, so my solution is I'm just going to outcompete them on price because I can do that, if nothing else. They're already outcompeting me on price when it comes to wood, which I haven't actually fixed yet, which I really do need to fix. Actually, it wasn't them, it was somebody else. I forgot about that. But yeah, there's a bit of a price war going on right now on the server, so... Alright, so there, then I need stone bricks, so I can put that there. There. And that needs stuff I don't have at the moment. Dang it. Once again, something I do actually keep in my redstone box, because it is useful for redstone, is glazed terracotta, because I will never use glazed terracotta when I'm actually building, because I think it looks terrible. There are some glazed terracotta patterns that are okay, but most of the time they just look awful. So I don't use them. Redstone. That's why I keep redstone blocks in there. Right, so now I need target blocks. And target blocks, for those who don't know, are useful not just for being targets, but also are useful because they allow you to redirect a redstone line within a single block instead of having to use 2 blocks like you used to have to do. Note, I also should mention, for example, this bit of redstone is orange because I currently do not have a lectern or a book placed down, so... And even once I place down the lectern, it will not have a book in it, so it will be missing some of the data it needs. Same goes for that torch right there. Is in the schematic, it's supposed to be off because there's supposed to be a book in the lectern. Without a book in the lectern, a lot of this stuff will just register as not being set up properly, even though it's fine. It's just the schematic is being a bit weird. Let's see. I think that's everything on this layer. Yes. Now are things where start to get a little bit more complicated. Oops, I did miss something. I'm getting hungry. I need some food. Would doing this in a creative server make a little bit more sense for showing it off on YouTube? Yes. Yes, it would. Am I doing that? No, because I wanted to build this anyway, and I figured, hey, I might as well make a video on it to explain what I'm doing, since people on the server keep asking me about it. Piston. That is a sticky piston, yes. I have mapped my inventory key to what used to be the tab key. And I have replaced what used to be the online players screen, aka the tab screen, with what used to be my inventory key, so I keep accidentally pressing the wrong key. This is annoying. Let's see. Yep. Okay, using Elytra, I am able to hide underneath this block and do that. Now I need another sticky piston. Fun. Okay, hang on. Jump cut again! Whee! Alright. Anyway, now that that's over, man oh man, is this thing going to be a pain to edit or what? And it's going to be boring as snot, so if people actually watch this far into the video, I have no idea why you would. But hey, welcome. Ignore that. Anyway, delays, yay, even after the editing. I'm not cutting that one out because I'm lazy. No one watched this all the way to the end, for the love of everything. This is like the most boring video on my channel, please. This is literally just for people who want to see the whole thing actually built up in its entirety. Translation, people like me who are lazy and who would sometimes prefer a world download, but if they can't figure something out, it'd be helpful to have something that isn't. This block right here should be a redstone lamp. It even says it should be a redstone lamp, but I, at the moment, do not have the stuff to do that. Cool. Torches, not those type, these types of torches. And I do recommend building it from the bottom to the top this way, because that way the redstone will not interact with itself in any way. Because most of the really nitty-gritty redstone inner workings are up at the top. So if you build it from the bottom to the top, for example, those redstone torches flashing on then going off isn't a big deal, because by the time it matters, it won't matter. So I need a hopper, and then I need a glass and stone bricks. Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. Right, now I need terracotta. Terracotta. Be nice nice if I had Schematica, because Schematica has a function, at least from what I've heard. And I would not trust me on this, because this is just what I've heard and nothing I've ever actually seen myself. An auto builder function where you can just have the computer build everything for you. I have actually never seen this, so again, don't trust me on this for the love of everything. Do not just accept what I am saying at face value, because I don't know that for a fact. I've never actually gone and looked. I've never used Schematica. I've only ever used Litematica. I'm pretty sure if I ever used Schematica, though, I would immediately be like, oh, I wish I had, Schematica, not Litematica. Alright. Why is it not? There we go. I was wondering why it wasn't placing there for a second. By the way, ignore the name tags on top of shulkers. That's a mod I have installed that isn't Litematica. It's meant to save the inventories of chests and things, so you can just, like, search for it. So, like, here I can just search for anything in any chest I've ever opened in the end dimension. It's entirely client-side. It's a bit weird and wibbly, so, It works, but it's not the greatest. I'm almost out of redstone torches, too. Yay, I'm running out of everything. Kind of to be expected. Why do I get the feeling I'm going to be interrupted again? And goodbye. Okay. That's interesting. Anyway, I need sand. Let's go get some sand. Sand. Actually, do I have anything else in any of my other shulkers? No. Okay, so sand. Yes, I have an entire shulker of sand. Don't ask. I sell glass, and glass is very popular. That is literally the reason why I have an entire shulker of sand, is because people really like buying glass for some reason. So I always need sand. Yeah, it's not going to like this because I used red sand, and I'm using normal sand here, and it's not going to like it because it says, oh, but this should be not normal sand. This should be red sand. So yeah. I cannot see what I was wanting to see from here, which is mildly annoying. Okay. Slime block and terracotta. I also said terracotta, although I do not sell glazed terracotta. Break, mine, thank you. And now I need a torch of the redstone variety. I'm out of redstone torches. I'll make a few more. What happened? Nothing, at least I don't think. No idea. Moving on. That is what happened. I see. I'm out of torches again. I have wood. Let's make some sticks. Whee! We're just gonna run out of everything, aren't we? Uh-oh. Get that back. There we go. Okay. Now I need hoppers. Now, I remember I have mentioned that Xander helped with this. I should mention his part in this was actually pretty big. He introduced the concept of slime blocks as a way of transmitting the signals, if I remember correctly. I'm the one who came up with most of the runs for those slime blocks to actually get the signals from A to B. But he's the one who introduced the idea. He's the one who introduced the new clock circuit. That bit down there, which is what determines like how many items the system outputs. Which, ironically, I had considered that clock circuit in the very beginning for the first version of this, but I couldn't figure out how to get it to work, so I just gave up on it and decided to invent my own. Which, that one is infinitely smaller. I mean, admittedly, yes, that one is not actually the clock circuit I was considering on using, because the one I was considering using wasn't actually viable, I guess the right word. It wouldn't have worked for what I was trying to do, which is exactly the reason I didn't use it, because the one I actually found on the internet that existed already was not really going to work, so... I should mention that these composters will get moved, or this composter specifically, will get moved by this slime block thing. It is not a big deal. It is fine. It is annoying, but it won't affect anything. I need... It's like, again, it's annoying, but it won't affect anything. I assumed since composters were kind of their own inventory, to an extent, pistons wouldn't be able to push them. That was a stupid thing, considering I actually used a version of this which used composters as piston pushable objects in the past, so I should have known that that's not how that would work out, but whatever. I'm gonna run out of hoppers too. That's fun. This is gonna get eaten. No, it didn't. Awesome. Why is this happening? I'm not right-clicking twice. I am right-clicking once, and it is placing two things. What is happening? There we go. Jeez. Anyway. I am now going to do a jump cut that I actually planned on, except kind of. To go get more compost, or more... Yeah, I'm going to need a lot more comparators. Yeah, so I'm going to go leave to get more hoppers and more comparators, so... Okay, now I'm back. That was a, like, massive detour, because that took quite a while, but I have all the stuff I need, at least I should need, to complete this thing. Where are the hoppers? There we go. By the way, people in chat, what they're talking about is whether the server will reset when 1.17 comes out. And from my perspective right now, it seems like probably, which is annoying, but whatever. That's a lot of composters. I'll get to those later, because those aren't technically really required. I forgot to go grab barrels. I have barrels that are in my ender chest. I just have to go get them, is the problem. Yeah, part of the reason that detour was so long, I appear to have lost some stone. Oh, here they are. Anyway, sorry. As I was saying, part of the reason that detour was so long is I was needing to go get, or not even go get, but to go check for... I noticed that somebody keeps breaking the water elevator in the shopping district on this server. And I was checking to see if there was a way I could just claim the elevator, since I already have a land claim that is like right next to it, and just expand it slightly. But then I remembered some idiot decided to claim this like tiny sliver of space between my shop and Photo's shop, which is right next door, and we're okay with being right next to each other, but... And he would have actually probably been just fine with me expanding the claim slightly, but I forgot that nincompoop had claimed, like, the space between our shops. I mean, it's literally like a 5-block wide space. There's nothing... You can't build a shop there. It is literally impossible. So I don't know what they're doing. What am I looking for? Oh, my barrels, right. I completely lost my train of thought, but it's just... It's very annoying. Because now I can't make it so people won't break the flippin'... annoying. That time it was because I fell off the machine. I can't make it so people won't break the flippin' elevator in the shopping district, which is annoying. How many times can I fail at this on camera? I don't know. Probably a lot. This is quite annoying and beginning to aggravate me quite a lot. Gee, I just want to... there we go. Yes, okay. And these are the barrels that will actually hold what you're selling. So, yeah. And this is extended in the schematic, but that is incorrect. Because in the schematic, there was actually a book in the system, so it will actually extend one of these. But I have put the correct amount of sand and stuff to compensate. I did not do that on some previous versions, and spent a lot longer than I should have, although not as long as I could have, trying to work out why it wasn't working, which was fun. Also, the redstone line up here, basically, since barrels are a solid block, it will allow... It basically, since barrels are a solid block, it charges the barrel with redstone energy, I don't know what the right way to put it is, and locks the hoppers underneath, so they won't suck anything out of the barrels until such time as this is deactivated. And the redstone torches underneath the hoppers are deactivated, which is how it selects a specific barrel. It'll unlock this main line once payment has been entered, and whichever torch underneath is deactivated is the torch that identifies which barrel it wants to suck items out of, because that is determined from the book in there. And then this system here, with all the sand and everything, is just the out-of-stock system, where it just determines whether the shop is out of stock of that item or not. That sounds very complicated, and to some extent it is, but... Alright, so MC and all layers, because I now need to get downstairs and grab a few things. I need composter, and this is why I enabled all layers, by the way. So I need to put the barrels back, and then I need to grab... These are all spruce signs, okay. I'll put this down now. I need to go get a book and write it, but I showed you the book already, so I probably won't do that on video, but... this is concrete. This is a redstone lamp. This is a barrel. This is a barrel. This is what I'm talking about when this cannot be a barrel, because this would break things if it was a barrel, so... That's all fine, that's all fine. I will need to do the styling later, but that's fine. I need to get a barrel, and then I need a hopper. Barrel, hopper. And note, whatever is inside this item filter as a junk item. Oh, that's confusing. Anyway, that's something off screen. Whatever's the junk item in this item filter needs to be renamed. I will not show you any of the ones that are renamed on the server, because if anybody on the server watched that, they could just use the renamed item to break the item filter, at which point they could basically make it so that if they did it right, what they could do is they could make it so that everything in the shop is basically free. You could just throw in some random junk item, say like an arrow or a bit of food, whatever, and it would accept it as payment. So I will not show you that. Basically, the cobblestone I showed you in the original version in my creative world, you'd need to rename that to something random. That way nobody could guess it, and that way they couldn't break the sorter. I will not be configuring the sorter right now, because I am not going to do that right now. What I am going to do is that. And I need a slab, which I do not have, but I do have a stone cutter. I don't remember which one. Whatever, we don't need the slab right now. The slab isn't really necessary, it was just more for looks than anything. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire build. Hang on, I need to go put on a lamp. But yeah, that's pretty much it, apart from the, like, artsy bits for my shop. For example, like, I have the floors decorated, whereas they're not decorated here. So I will need to do that, but yep, that's pretty much how this works. And to label these, I have wool and dye and stuff. And something else I did to make things a little bit easier is I have a shop catalog where it lists everything I sell and where it is and the prices of everything, except for the dyes and wool because I didn't have the space. Who was that? Fellow Wings, okay. I don't know what they're doing. But anyway. So, but that's it. That's all that's required with the building, and that's all I can really tell you about it. So, sayonara.